Hey everyone, Mrs. Spatola here. Let's take a look at the answer for converting mixed numbers to improper fractions. Remember, when you are changing mixed numbers into improper fractions, you are going to take the denominator, multiply it by the whole number, and then add the numerator. The numerator becomes your total, and the denominator just gets moved over and stays the same. If you have any questions, look back at yesterday's video or the last video that we did. So here are the answers. Pause the video, check them all, and then we'll go down to the next part of the page. Okay, and here are the rest of the answers for numbers 1 through 9. Now, I am going to tell you a trick. Since yesterday was a non-school day, what you can do is grab your calculator and listen to the following directions. Put your calculator on, clear your calculator. For number 1, it's 113 over 12. Type in 113 in your calculator. Now, in the upper left-hand corner, 3 keys down from the top, you see that little ABC key? Hit that ABC key. Then type in 12, 1, 2. So it looks like 113, a backwards L over 12. Hit equals. And guess what? That's how you can check it with your calculator. We'll talk more about this when you come back to school the next time. So there you go. You can check all your answers. So remember, it's the numerator, ABC, denominator, equals, and that's how you can check and change an improper fraction to a mixed number on your calculator. Unit 5, Lesson 3, Estimating Sums and Differences of Mixed Numbers and Fractions. How can you estimate a mixed number, or a fraction? So we can look, it says, the do now says, how can the diagram below help you to round fractions? Well, if you go ahead and take a look at it, you notice that 0 is at the bottom, 1 whole is at the top. If your numerator is more than half of the total, then you would round up. And by the way, half or more, you go up. If it's less than 1/2, you would go down to the previous number or 0. Let's move over here. Estimating mixed numbers. If you have mixed numbers, then round the fraction part up to 1 or down to 0. If the fraction is greater than 1/2, then round up to 1. If it is less than 1/2, then round down to 0. Now, if it is a mixed number between two numbers, for example, 1 and 1/2, 1 and 1/2 is between 1 and 2. So the 1/2 part would round up. You're not going to round it to 1. You're going to round it up to the next whole number in that case, which would be 2. The fraction lines that are given here, that are provided, are here to help you to figure out where 1/2 is. So if you look at the fraction lines to 1, okay, you notice that 1/2 is here. These are visuals to help you to determine if your fraction is more than 1/2. Now, there is a mathematical way. If your numerator, the top number of the fraction, is more than half of the denominator, then you automatically round up. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at the next page, and that can hopefully give us some answers. Rounding fractions. How can you use the chart below to help you to round fractions to the nearest whole number when the number is greater than 1? Well, here's the description. If the numerator is close to 0 and the denominator is not close to 0, okay, then that means that your benchmark would be 0. So for example, 1/8. It means that 1 is closer to 0, and it's very far away from your denominator, which is 8. So that would stay at 0. 3 over 16, that's pretty far away from 16. 3 is a lot smaller than 16, so that's going to round down to 0 or whatever the lower whole number is, if it's a mixed number. 2 over 25. That, the numerator is 2, the denominator is 25. It is very far away, so that would round down. And lastly, 9 over 100 is also, the numerator is 9, very far away from the denominator, which is 100. And notice, the denominators in this given example are not close to 0. Let's move on to the next section. The numerator is about 1/2 of the denominator. This is my favorite. This is the one that I would highly recommend that you use. So, if the numerator is about 1/2 of the denominator, you would round up. If it is less than 1/2 of the denominator, you would round down to 0 or stay down to whatever the whole number is in the mixed number example. Let's take a look at some of these that are here. 3/8. So 3/8, half of 8 is 4. Half of 8 is 4. Is 3 more than 4? No, it's not, so you would round down. 9 over 16. Half of 16 is 8. Is 9 more than 8? Yes, it is. So in that case, you would round up. 11 over 25. What is half of 25? Half of 25 would be 12 and 5/10 or 12.5. Is 11 more than that? No, it is not. So you would round down. 52 over 100. What is half of 100? Half of 100 is 50. So you would round up to the next number. Please don't let this confuse you over here. Listen to what I said in the video and don't even worry about it. Okay, let's look at the last one. The numerator and denominator are close to each other. This is another good clue to determine if you're going to round up or if you're going to round down. So for example, if the numerator and denominator are close to each other, let's look at the first example, 7/8. They're 1 digit apart, round up. 14 over 16, they're pretty close to each other, round up. 23 over 25, close to each other, round up. 95 over 100, round up. Now, when it says benchmark, it means round up to 1, or here you're going to, let me get rid of this, you're going to round up. Rounds up. Just to backtrack, for this one here, if it is 1/2 or more, round up. Okay, make sure you put that in your notes. Half or more, round up. If it's less than 1/2, you round down or to the whole number that's given. Okay, let's take a look. Round to the nearest whole number using a number line. Well, for this one, number 1, you could go ahead and say, okay, the number 8 is between 8 and 6/7 is between 8 and 9. So what you would do is you would break this up into 7 parts. Now here goes Mrs. Spatola, the artist, because I'm so wonderful at art. So let's try. So this is 1/7, 2/7, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7/7 would be here, or that would be 9. So we're going to pretend that these are all equivalent. So if I am looking at 8 and 6/7, 2 ways. Before you can use the chart, you can use the number line. So if it's 6/7, how far would I go? 1/7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is 6/7 right there. Now, is that closer to 8 or is it closer to 9? Well, of course, it's closer to 9. And if you use the rule above, it says the numerator and denominator are close to each other, you definitely would round up. So in this case here, you would round up to the higher number. Okay? Now, if you were to look at this number again, 8 and 6/7, without a number line, what's half of 7? It's 3.5 or 3.5. Is 6 more than 3.5? Yes, it is. So you would round up and it would be 9. We are only using, in this lesson, we are only using whole numbers. It's either 0 or 1. We are not rounding to 1/2. We're either going up or we're staying at the whole number that we had. Now, let's look at this number here, 11/20. So that's between 11 and 12. So here in the middle, I know that 10 is half of 20, and without even making all of the marks, I know that if it's half or more, I am going to round up to the next number. So 11 and 10/20, which is also 1/2, is going to round to 12. Hopefully this is making sense. Okay, let's look at the next one together. 5/12. So for me, I know that 5/12 is either going to be between 0, okay, I'm going to make this even easier for you. It's between 0 or 1 whole. Well, 12, ready? 12 12/12 is going to be equal to 1 whole. What's half of 12? 6. So 6/12 is in the middle. Is 5/12 more than 6/12 or less than 6/12? Good, it is less. So in this case here, since I'm only rounding up to 5, I'm only looking at 5/12, I am going to round back to 0. So if I'm looking at 5/12, that would round to 0. We are not rounding to 1/2. It's only the nearest whole number only. And lastly, pause the video if you'd like. Try number 3 on your own. Pause the video and give it a try. 3 and 5/6 is between 3 and 4. 6, so this would be 3. This is 6/6. I know that half of 6 is 3/6. So is 5/6, that's going to be 4, and that's 5. And I know that this is going to be 2, and this is 1. So if I were to go up to 5/6, is that more than half or less than half? It's more. So when I'm rounding, 3 and 5/6 would round to 4. Try the remaining problems on this page by yourself. Pause the video. I'm going to ask you to please pause the video, try them all on your own, and then come back when you finish number 8, start the video up, and try it, check your answers. Okay, good luck. And there you have the answers for numbers 1 through 8. Hope you did a good job. Let's see what we have for homework. So on this page, we're going to estimate the sum or the difference. So what you're going to do is round each fraction first to the nearest whole number, and then you're simply going to add or subtract. There are 21 problems on here on this page. You should be able to do it without any problems. I will do the first one with you, so let's take a look. Number 1. 5 3/5. Well, I know that 5 3/5, half of 5 is 2 1/2. 3 is more than that. So this is going to be 6. Plus, I notice 1 7/8. I know that based on the chart on the previous page, 7/8, they're close to each other. So that's going to round to 2. So 6 plus 2 is 8. Good. How about, all right, I'll do number 2 with you also. 6 and 10/11, they're close to each other, so that's going to be 7 minus 3 and 1/15. 1 is so far away from 15, so that's going to be 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. All right, one last one, number 3, 4 and 2/9. They're definitely far apart. I know that half of 9 is 4 1/2, so this is going to be 4 plus 3 and 6/7. Well, when I look at 6/7, I know that they're only 1 away, so that's going to be 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8, and there you have it. I did the first 3 for you. Your job is going to be to complete the rest of the page, and that's it. Alrighty, this is Mrs. Spatola wishing you a great day, and remember, always be kind.